Resilience is not about bouncing back. It's actually about bouncing forward and creating greater capacity within ourselves because of the experiences we've had. So anything that challenges us helps us to stretch and grow when we deal with it effectively. So resilience is a very active process, and it requires us to be fully present with ourselves and to actively engage the challenges we're experiencing.
You work hard in your business. On the Profit by Design podcast, we ask the big question. What has your business done for you lately? Hi, I'm Dr. Sabrina Starling. I'm the business psychologist, the author of the 4-Week Vacation and the How to Hire the Best series, as well as the founder of Tap the Potential, where we coach entrepreneurs like you to design sustainably profitable businesses that give you more time for what matters most and more money in your bank account than ever. Because after all, we believe work supports life, not the other way around. Weekly on the Profit by Design podcast, we bring you tips, tools, and strategies from our own experiences and from the experiences of our guests who are entrepreneurial thought leaders and real life entrepreneurs, all to support you in making intentionally profitable and sustainable business decisions to live the lifestyle you desire.
Have you noticed how there's always a new challenge ahead of you? As you master one thing, something else pops up in your business that you need to learn. And one of the areas that I think is so surprising to entrepreneurs is what happens after you learn how to get steady, consistent sales. So once you're getting steady, consistent sales in your business, you all of a sudden are going to be faced with a lot of capacity challenges, systems challenges, and leadership challenges. So this is one of those good problems to have because when you're a new entrepreneur, you're working on what do I need to do to get sales coming in the door? And as soon as you master that, then there's all these other challenges that come along. And I think it catches a lot of us off guard. We don't expect to be having to figure out how to hire and how to put systems in place and make sure that our clients and customers are getting a consistent experience with us. And the other thing that we don't pay attention to is we get a lot of variety in our businesses with the types of needs from our clients and customers. And this is a result of us putting all that effort out there to get sales coming in the door. But it's also the very thing that can cause the business to start taking over your life. And at Tap the Potential, we utilize the Tap the Potential solution to help you take your life back from your business. And many of the business owners who show up at our doorstep to join the Better Business, Better Life program are in that place where on the outside of the business, it looks successful because sales are coming in, the revenue's there, but you're recognizing that you're losing profitability and you're starting to wonder, like, when do I turn this corner where cash flow problems stop? And when do things get easier? Just because I've got revenue coming in now, I thought things were going to get easier, but no, they don't. They get more complex and more challenging. And we utilize the Tap the Potential solution to simplify everything in your business and really look at making sure, number one, designing your business to be sustainably profitable because that drives all the decisions, but then also niching down with a clearly defined sweet spot so that you have very specific types of clients that you're dealing with and services that you're delivering. And this is so key because it allows you then to be very deliberate in your hiring. It makes it so much easier to create systems because there's a specific type of client and customer with a specific need that you're serving. So you really have that opportunity to innovate. And when you innovate, that gets you away from price pressure because you're going to find ways to add more value for your top clients and customers. And that's important because you're going to need to create margin so that you're able to afford to grow your team, to get coaching and training and leadership development for not just yourself, but also your team members. And so many of us business owners, we don't think about those things. And The final stages of the Tap the Potential solution are consistently networking to attract the best and attract A players to your team, because you're going to keep growing. So this is where we really get that flywheel going in your business, where things get better and better, and the small steps forward that you take really accumulate over time. And the result is, number one, you get to take your life back from your business. And that means that you get to have more time for what matters most to you, your family, your friends, taking care of your health, having hobbies again. A lot of small business owners, you tell me, like, I don't even know if I have a hobby, or if I were going to have a hobby, what it would be, because I spend so much time thinking about my business. And the reality is as you start to take your life back from your business, you do have more time to reconnect with yourself and what's important to you and the things that you enjoy doing. More time for travel. But most importantly, that ability to not work 60 hours a week, but to work 40 or fewer. We have clients at Tap the Potential that are working 30 hours a week, 25 hours a week. I work about 25 hours a week. And that opportunity exists for you. And it may feel like that's so far out of my reach because I'm just working all the time now and everything hinges on me. Well, when you implement the Tap the Potential solution, that changes. And you have that opportunity to have more time for what matters most and more money in your bank account than ever. And so as we go into 2023, if you want this kind of support from us at Tap the Potential, we would love to have a conversation with you and see if what we offer is a good fit for your needs. Head on over to tapthepotential.com and book a call with a member of our success team. So today we are kicking off our strategic planning series here on the Profit by Design podcast. And here's something fun for you to be aware of. I actually record this series to support our clients in our Better Business, Better Life program. And as a gift to you, we wanted to put this on the podcast so that you could benefit too, because one of our immutable laws at Tap the Potential is to be a gift from our gifts. So the next 4 weeks is a gift from us to you, and I encourage you to take it as a gift for yourself. These weeks in the end of the year and the early part of 2023 are a great time to stop and reflect. We don't spend a lot of time as entrepreneurs stopping and reflecting. We're usually bouncing from one thing to the next, and we miss a lot of learning. We miss a lot of opportunities to look at what's working and intentionally do more of that. We miss the opportunity to decide what to stop doing. Yeah, that's right. Over the next 4 weeks, I'm going to help you figure out what to let go of so that you have more time for yourself and what matters most in 2023. So we have a strategic planning workbook that accompanies this series. Head on over to tapthepotential.com/plan and download your workbook. You're going to want to have this with you. There are powerful questions included in the workbook that invite you to reflect. I encourage you to journal, get a journal for yourself and record your answers. And for those of you who have been following me for quite some time, it's very possible that you have about 10 years worth of reflections from the Gift to Yourself exercise. Before I had a podcast, we used to put this out in the newsletter every year around this time. And I think it's really valuable to be able to check in with yourself from year to year and see what you wrote down last year. See what was important to you. Did you stick to your plan? Did you stick to what you said you wanted to be intentional about? Or did things slide off the rails? And I just have to say that one of the best things that I've ever done for myself is to be in coaching, because us entrepreneurs, no one holds us accountable. We're holding our team members accountable, but nobody holds us accountable. And in my own coaching, that's where I'm accountable. I also have an accountability partner. I want to give a big shout out to her, Donna Lyons. She and I have a running accountability document that goes back several years now. And we check in every week and we share our $10,000 an hour activities, the things that we are doing to move our businesses forward, to create more systems, and to be able to take more and more off of our individual plates. And so I just want to share that with you. If you feel like you look back over last year and you see what you wrote in your strategic planning workbook from last year and you realize, wow, I wasn't so good at sticking with my intentions, then really consider getting some coaching and building in accountability for yourself so that you have that week-to-week accountability. One of the things that I think is so interesting when we analyze the results from the Better Business, Better Life assessment, those entrepreneurs who are having the highest quality of life have almost double the number of systems in place in their business as those who are experiencing symptoms of burnout. And putting systems in place is one of the best ways to take pressure off of yourself. Even if you're the one who has to work the system, it takes pressure off of you. It takes mental load off of you. But the challenge is you may have the best of intentions to create more systems in your business. But if no one's checking in with you and asking you from week to week, what systems did you put in place? Chances are you didn't get many systems put in place this year. So I really want to encourage you to look at how to turn this around for yourself. Today, we are going to dive in and kick off our series by talking about resilience. Resilience as an entrepreneur is such an important topic because there is no greater self-development journey than entrepreneurship. We are faced with challenges every single day that stretch us and grow, that make us grow. And especially as our businesses grow, we're called on to be stronger leaders and to be more effective leaders and to understand people better. And what I find when I talk with entrepreneurs is that it's the people challenges and cash flow, but primarily people that keep us awake at night. We're trying to figure out, how do I say this to that person? How do I get them to understand this or that? And it takes a toll on us leaders in the company if we are not continually acknowledging our own development, our own part of the journey. And by part of the journey, I mean that we're learning. And as we're learning, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to do things that aren't effective or that made things worse. And that opportunity to reflect on, here are some of the mistakes I made, and here's what I'm going to do differently next time is so important. And it's also important to reflect on what's working, because it's the things that are working that point to what we should be doing more of in our businesses. It points to the things that we should be getting very systematic about in our business so we can intentionally do more of what works. But the big reason we entrepreneurs really need to be paying attention to our own resilience is our own mental health and well-being. In the research that I've been doing on entrepreneurial well-being using the Better Business, Better Life assessment, what we're finding is 9 out of 10 of us are experiencing symptoms of burnout. And 8 out of 10 of us find it hard to switch off and not think about the business. In the last 3 days, 1 out of 2 of us have neglected basic needs such as sleep, healthy eating, or social interaction. And 1 out of 2 of us on any given day feels as though no one understands us and the stressors we experience. So when we are burning out, we are putting ourselves at risk for all kinds of relationship problems and mental health problems, addiction, etc. And it's important for us to be aware that we entrepreneurs are 2 times more likely than the general population to suffer depression. We're 70% more likely to experience addiction, and our divorce rates are 5 to 10 times higher than the general population. So what we're doing to ourselves as we grow these businesses, when we are grinding it out and we're not stopping to take care of ourselves and putting attention on how do we build our resilience, we're creating high risk for ourselves in our personal lives. So what is resilience anyway? Resilience is not about bouncing back. It's actually about bouncing forward and creating greater capacity within ourselves because of the experiences we've had. So anything that challenges us helps us to stretch and grow when we deal with it effectively. So resilience is a very active process, and it requires us to be fully present with ourselves and to actively engage the challenges we're experiencing. It's like a muscle, and it's something that we can build just like when we go to the gym and we work out. And resilience is all about our willingness to endure challenges rather than run away from them and allow ourselves to be fundamentally changed by these challenges. So it takes a lot of courage to acknowledge when we're challenged and when we're stretching and growing. There's vulnerability involved in that. And when we share with people that we trust how we are challenged, we are opening up and we're creating opportunities for people to come in and support us, to provide a fresh perspective on the challenge. When you're an entrepreneur, a lot of times you're alone in your head thinking these thoughts. And there's that feeling of being an imposter, that you should know how to handle these things. And the reality is no, you shouldn't. You've never encountered these kinds of challenges before. Your business has never been at this stage before. And so it's perfectly normal to not know what to do and to feel lost and to need support and to reach out to others who may be on the same part of the journey that you're on, or maybe they're a few steps ahead or a few steps behind. But they will provide different perspectives that help you see things in a new light and get you outside the little box of your thinking and the thoughts that just roll through your head.
Dr. Taryn Stejskal has identified practices of highly resilient people, and I want to share these with you. Many of these will be familiar with you because we talk about them a lot here on the Profit by Design podcast. And if you're in our Better Business, Better Life program, you've definitely heard me talk about these before. The first one is the practice of vulnerability. This means letting go of shame that we feel about any school of hard knocks experience that we've had as an entrepreneur. The reality is that we are on a significant growth journey as our businesses are growing, and there are going to be hard things and new situations that we're encountering. We're not expected to know the answers or handle things right the first time. We have to fumble around sometimes and figure things out. And when we open up and share these moments of School of Hard Knocks learning, we're making ourselves vulnerable and we're opening ourselves up to receive support and connection, which, by the way, connection is another practice of highly resilient people. Looking around you and looking for who is in your world that you feel safe opening up to and sharing about some of the things that are tough for you. I notice in our Better Business, Better Life program, our clients often say that we're talking about things that are safer to talk about among other business owners than it is to talk about with their spouses or family members or friends, because sometimes family members and spouses have a vested interest in the success of the business, and those conversations can get heated and uncomfortable. And sometimes as a business owner, you just need a space to be able to talk through the things that are running through your head. It doesn't mean you're necessarily going to take action. You're just processing. And if we do that in a conversation with a family member or a spouse, sometimes they think, whoa, they said they were going to do this thing and then they never did it. They did something differently. And now I can't trust what they're going to say about the business, and on and on and on. So having that safe space like we've created in our Better Business, Better Life program, where you can confide in other business owners and seek input, that connection allows you to open up, to be vulnerable, and to receive input from others, and to learn from our strategists using the Tap the Potential solution, some simple ways that you can put some strategy in place that will resolve the current challenges that are facing you in your business. Another practice of highly resilient people is what Dr. Taryn Stejskal calls gratiosity. And this is a combination of practicing gratitude and generosity. So this is where we recognize that there are gifts in adversity. And this is where we acknowledge the gifts that we've received with gratitude. And we look at the gifts that have come out of the challenges we've faced. We become stronger because we go through challenges and we're able to bounce forward, and we see our businesses improving and we see our lives improving. That gives us strength to face the next challenge. And so if you're currently feeling challenged in your business, think about what possibilities might be opening up for you in the year ahead because of the challenges you're currently experiencing. So instead of asking yourself judger questions of, why me? Why do I have to deal with this? This is so awful. And then you get really upset and get into the judger pit. You can switch those to questions of,
well, what's possible here? What do I want? What do the other individuals involved want or need? And how do we create a win-win solution? So going back to the powerful questions in the Strategic Planning Workbook that I've put together for you, think about, how is your business better now than it was 12 months ago? And I bet when you stop and reflect on this, you're going to be able to see that you've made progress forward, that things are better. Even if you have big challenges right now, maybe some of the challenges that you have come about because of strategic decisions that you made 6 or 9 months ago to grow. And so maybe those challenges are part of the growth. Maybe some of the challenges that you have now are going to spur you to take different action in 2023, so that at the end of 2023, when you reflect on this time this year, you're going to say, wow, I'm so glad I took action on this or that, and I did not continue to tolerate this particular situation. So in the Strategic Planning Workbook, on pages 3 through 6, you will find a list of powerful questions to help you build your resilience as an entrepreneur. So go get this workbook, download it, and work through these powerful questions. You can get the workbook at tapthepotential.com/plan. As you come back into next week's strategic planning series, I'm going to be taking you through the gift to yourself exercise and reflecting on these powerful questions in the workbook around resilience set you up nicely to really benefit from the gift to yourself exercise. The gift to yourself exercise is a life planning exercise. And I love doing this with business owners because at Tap the Potential, we believe work supports life, not the other way around. So it's really important to reflect on your life, what you have created in your life, and what you want to create in 2023 before we dig into the strategic planning for your business. So that's what's coming in next week's episode. For this week, go download your workbook and start reflecting on those powerful questions around resilience. tapthepotential.com/plan. Thank you for spending time with us today. Join our conversation in the Entrepreneurs Take Your Life Back Facebook community at tapthepotential.com/group. Share your aha moments from today's episode, ask me questions, and join in on the fun with your fellow entrepreneurs on the journey to designing sustainably profitable businesses that give you more time for what matters most and more money in your bank account than ever. And finally, share today's episode with a friend if you know a friend who would enjoy it. This is real life business. Keep your chin up, keep moving forward. You got this. If you've gotten value from today's show, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you are a repeat listener of the podcast, know that we greatly appreciate you at Tap the Potential. And to that end, I have a request. Please consider leaving us a review on whatever platform you're listening on. Our reviews help other entrepreneurs like you to find us. Be a part of our movement to help entrepreneurs take your life back from your business.